What's going on, guys? Mike here today, bringing you a little bit of a different way of videos. I'm going to try to get more into the informational videos. I know I made that video about not posting on my channel anymore and maybe starting a new channel, but I think I'm going to scrap that idea and, just keep rolling with Channel Diglio and try to turn it around and fix it in ways that, to prevent copyright and trying to get licensed from people, which is going to be hard. But so actually what that means to you guys is there's going to be a lot more informational videos, and there's going to be a lot more like vlogs in a way. And I'll do gameplay videos, but only of games that I am actually allowed to upload because I don't want my shit getting scrapped. But anyway, if you guys can tell by the title of this video, World of Warcraft Mists of Pandaria. I know everyone's been doing their reviews about it and giving their 2 cents, but now it is my turn to give my 2 cents. Do I think this is amazing? Kind of. Like, pandas are fucking sick. Who does not want to play the worst actor of characters in the world, Jack Black? I want to play it. But all seriousness aside, people keep saying that pandas, they don't belong in WoW. Now the game's turning into a childhood, like a child game and all this. It's just like, what are you talking about? If you played Warcraft 3 at all, well, mostly Frozen Throne, if you played Warcraft 3 The Frozen Throne, you would have known that the Pandaren Brewmaster was in the game, and it was only a matter of time before he made it into WoW. Like, it doesn't shock me at all. Making a whole new expansion that revolves around pandas doesn't shock me at all. It's just like, it makes perfect sense in my mind, and I know other people who were big Warcraft 3 fans, it makes sense in their mind, and I actually called it about, I want to say 2.5 to 3 weeks before the release of Mists of Pandaria, like the pandas coming to it. I actually called it saying that pandas were going to be the next, playable race, at least for one faction. I didn't know they were going to do the double faction for it, but I'll get more into that later on in the video. But I knew that they were going to somehow make their way into the game. And as for monks, I didn't think like the class was going to be a monk, even though I probably could have foreseen it in a way when it came out in Diablo 3, but that really doesn't have any comparison to it. But I knew there was going to be a class that had somewhat of a type of healing mechanic. It was either that or some type of ranged DPS, because I feel like there's no other, ranged physical DPS. I feel like in a way that would be kind of cool to see, but a physical quote-unquote healing class that uses fist weapons, finally bringing like fist weapons back into the game, which I doubt probably going to use, but who knows, maybe they'll make a legendary that uses fist weapons that are pertain just to the monk class, but who knows. But all I know is pandas, they look fucking sick, and I will definitely be playing it when it comes, unless I am too involved into Guild Wars 2, which I cannot wait to be released, but that's another video. But anyway, let's get into the Pandaren. Their model looks a little goofy, but I mean, it's WoW nowadays. I know in the developer they said they had like, I forgot the number, but like 60 more bone structures in their makeup, so that's why it makes them look so like realistic, quote unquote, in a way. But who knows? Their faction, they're both Horde and Alliance. I didn't know they were going to do this. It's actually quite interesting to see that they did that, but I would have liked to see like pandas and nagas. I feel like that would be sick, but I feel like it would be very hard to make a class that slithers around and doesn't walk on their 2 feet. It would just have a very awkward feel to it, and it just wouldn't, like, boots wouldn't exist. Like, there are a lot of reasons why I see that nagas won't make it into the game, but who knows, maybe back in the next expansion when it's fucking like level 105 or level 100 or some bullshit like that. But now you're going to level 90, so that's interesting. But anyway, we can go into their racials. Jesus Christ, how do you even pronounce this? Epicurean, whatever. Increased stat benefits by food by 100%. Oh, that would be my phone. Wow, that hasn't gone off in a while. Increased stat benefits from food by 100%. Pretty much a raid. That's pretty much all it's gonna be accounted for. They're gonna be like a raid specific class. That's the way I feel, at least. So now food, let's say they give 90 stamina, now they'll give, 180 stamina. So in a way, it's a nice little buff for them. They'll definitely become sick tanks, because I think they said that they can also be tanks, but we'll see what happens with that. Or the monk class I was talking about, but they can be all these classes down here, which some of them are tank classes, I think. No. Yeah, war. Okay. Whatever. Next is Gourmand. Cooking skill increased by 15. Nothing great. I mean, it's just like all those other bullshit. Inner Peace. Your rested experience bonus lasts twice as long. Very cool. When leveling, at that point, doesn't. It's just like bleh. It just kind of falls out. Bouncy. You take 50% less falling damage. Great. I mean, I never thought falling damage was a big problem, but I guess for those. And then you have Quaking Palm. You touch a secret pressure point on the enemy target, putting it to sleep for 3 seconds. Wow, that's actually pretty badass. It's kind of like a better War Stomp, except it puts them to sleep. Actually, fuck, it's better than War Stomp. Be interesting to see that with hunters. When they get, silencing shot and everything. That's actually. Oh, whoop! I didn't mean to click that. That's actually a sick PvP ability. Oh my god. Shit. That might be better than. No, I mean, it could be better than the human ratio, where you can go double DPS trinket, but. Who knows? That's actually pretty badass. We'll have to see how that goes into effect. But yeah, so that's just a little overview of who the Pandaren are and what their little talents are. I mean, if you guys want, you can pause the video. You can read all the lore right here about how they came up with it and who they are. Or if you want, you can watch the Q&A of it. I know that was really interesting to at least read their whole reasons behind the game and why Pandaren are in and what direction they're looking for. I know in this expansion they're going for the Chinese armor art style, which is fucking amazing. All Chinese armor art styles in any game are fucking badass. They always look sick, and I'm tired of all this spiky flame bullshit, because right now all the armor pieces, I know they just released, was it tier 13, looks like complete shit. Season 11 looks like complete shit. Like, come on, WoW. Like, you gotta, Blizzard, I mean, you gotta do something that'll bring us back into the game. And right now, excuse me, you are failing hardcore. But the available classes, Monk, which I'm going to get into in a second. Then you have Mage, which it doesn't really go into this little whole thing right here. Like, their ratios, at least. Rogue could be really sick with Rogues. Now they'll have stupid even more CC. Warriors with the food buff, that'll be nice. I mean, all these work well with the food buff. Then you have Hunter, Priest, a healing. I mean, maybe. I don't see a lot of Pandaren Priest is going to be. And Shaman. Shaman's going to be sick. I'm glad they finally come out with another Shaman class, and it might make me change my dwarf, but who knows. But anyway, let's get into the Monk class and see what the deal is with this. Another little model here that makes it look like a little 5-year-old game. But who knows. Pandaren Masters have chosen to share the ancient martial arts and young fighters in both Alliance and Horde, harnessing their inner strength and potent chi or ki or kai, however people want to pronounce it, energy. Monks are extremely capable in every role, damage, defense, and healing. Interesting. They're going to be cloth, and well, they're going to be leather wearers. The cloth doesn't really exist. I don't even know why they, in my opinion, they shouldn't allow other classes to equip gear that is lower than what they are eventually going to use. I feel like when Ms. Pandaria comes out, they should make it so, Rogue can only equip leather. Cloth, you're not allowed to put on. Warriors, Paladins, only equipped mail, and then level 40 they can equip plate. Like, that's how it should be. Letting people equip gear that's lower, it's fucking stupid in my opinion, because no one's going to do it, because you're going to just drop your, your, like, armor mastery that you get at level 80 that increases stat. Like, dumb. They should only be one stat, and that is that. There's my little rant on that. The weapons they can use, fist weapons, this is a huge one. I'm so glad a class, hopefully they allow fist weapons to be amazing, because no one uses them. They're just out of the game, and for a class that's all about being up in your face and just punching the shit out of people, like, I feel like fist weapons should be there. But then you have one-handed axes, blah, one-handed maces, blah, one-handed swords, pole arms, and staves. Don't really seem like anyone's going to be using most of these. Or, like, at least the pole arms and staves, like, why have... I don't know. I feel like everyone's going to go off with the one-handed weapons, but we'll see. We got some sample abilities. Spinning Crane Kick. You spin while kicking in the air, dealing physical damage every 1 second to all nearby enemies within 8 yards. Wound speed is 30%, lasts 6 seconds. So a little mini AoE. Looks pretty cool. Looks like it doesn't cost anything, so I don't know. We'll see what happens with that. Roll short distance, 50 chi. And Statue of Jade Serpents, 5-second cast. Summon a statue at target location. Anytime you deal damage to a nearby friendly unit within 20 yards of the statue will be healed. You You have up to 3 Jade Dragon statues active at a time. So like little mini healing statues. It makes me wonder how they're going to scale with their healing and stuff. So that'd be very interesting to see. Also another thing about monks, I'm not sure if you guys know, but they were talking about reducing or completely eliminating their auto attack feature, which is very interesting to me. It makes me seem like they're going to be purely ability based, which would be really cool to see because, no, actually no, it wouldn't, because even, I mean, I'm just going to quote Blizzard themselves they said that, like, you can have a rogue, let's just say, and a monk attacking the same exact targets. They could deal the exact same damage or whatever, blah, blah, blah. All of a sudden, the rogue's target has 5 HP, auto attacks it and kills it. The monk's target has 5 HP, and he has to wait for his ability to be active in order to kill it. So they said there were going to be no auto attacks on that, but I'm interested to see if they're going to stick with that or if they're just going to cut that altogether and actually give them auto attacks and change them around a little bit. The game's probably like a year. I mean, it'll probably be coming out next year at around this time in November, well, or at least in November, because I think that's when Wrath came out. But we'll see what happens by then. A lot can change, so there's no point quoting anything on that point. The available races that could play monks, the Pandarian, obviously, Dwarf, Human, Blood Elf, Tauren, the Undead or Forsaken, Draenei, Gnome, Night Elf, Orc, Troll. So everything can play a monk. Except, wow, I'm a fucking retard. Right? 1, 2, 3. Goblins can't play, and Worgens can't play. I think everything else can, right? Yeah, so everything but Goblins and Worgens, which makes sense since they were the newest class, but whatever. New features. What else came out in Mr. Pandaria? The challenge mode. This looks very interesting. I know they released a bunch of information about it. But to sum it up, what you're going to be able to do is exactly what it says here. You race against time, and I would read this, but this is really long to read. But after your group completes a challenge mode dungeon, your time will be graded. So pretty much, you do a dungeon, you beat it in a certain amount of time, and you get awarded. Let me just zoom in here so you guys can see. You get awarded kind of like it is here. It'll tell you how fast you did it, and like your best dungeon runs and stuff like that. Oh, there we go. It even just loads it out like that. But, you know, best dungeon runs, gives you the time, gives you your grade, and you beat it in order to do challenges, I think it is. Yeah. And you get, like, special prize for it and stuff. Like, the rewards for delivering these changes will be mostly cosmetic in nature. There will be rewards such as an inspiring new armor set, new mounts, titles. So, nothing that's really going to affect the game for doing it, but there will be rewards, and it will bring some type of competition to PvE, rather than just like, oh, you got worlds first, how cool. Like, once you get worlds first or server first, like, everything else is dead. So very interesting to see that, and I know they said, I'm not sure if they explained it here because I didn't read this fully. Oh yeah, here we go. Your gear, right here. Your gear will be normalized, meaning that instead of your own equipment, you'll be using items that are usually appropriate for the instance. So it seems like they're going to have no gear advantage. It's going to be purely on skill, speed, and coordination, which is great because it's a great way to balance it, and it's pretty much going to test the player's skill rather than the player's gear cap, which, again, is very nice. So that'll be interesting to see when that comes out and see how that works. Next is the pet battle system, or as many people have been calling it, Pokemon for WoW. Kind of interesting in my opinion. Pretty much what it is, you can see by these pictures. You're a pet against someone else's pet, and you attack them and you kill them, or I don't know if you kill them, you just like win the duel for it, and that is that. So you have like 3 active at a time. So it's pretty much Pokemon for WoW. You can train them different abilities, level them up to unlock their battle slot. Complete the following achievement: have pet will battle. Ha ha ha! Funny. So, I mean, it's gonna give a sense of collecting new pets, to have like, you know, that cool pet that's maxed out and, you know, like you're known on the server, like, oh my god, you have all of them. And I also heard that a lot of pets are gonna be changed from soulbound once you see them to tradable. Very interesting. It makes me wonder, oh my god, he's gotta stop commenting. Okay. So it's gonna be very interesting to see, you know, pet prices and stuff, and now with this new pet that you can buy from WoW for money and trade, which I still think is a fine idea. I don't know why people bitch about it and stuff. But very interested to see how this is going to pan out. I mean, I don't think anything big is going to come from it, but whatever. The scenarios, what is this? Join forces with your fellow heroes and embark on epic scenarios. Okay. The new talent calculator, which I will show you in a second. And venture forth and explore new zones across the continents of Pandaria. Yeah, these are the new zones. Again, they're just little things to look at if you guys want to see it. Again, this is all on the website. Just WoW up here. I'll put a link in the description if you guys want. And last but not least, this is on Wowhead. This is actually the talent calculator and how everything is structured. The talent tree is very different now, just according to this. Again, it's not the full thing, but this is just ways to look at stuff. But I'm going to do a whole another video pertaining to the talent calculator, and I'm going to go through each class and talk about which talents are which talents are sick and which ones kind of just fall off and don't really matter, or which ones are PvP and which ones are PvE. So yeah, so that's that for this little episode. Again, it was just a recap of my thoughts on Mists of Pandaria, and I'm looking forward to it. WoW for me right now is very stale. There's nothing innovative about it. It's quite boring. You know, you log in, you do some PvP, you log off. But so hopefully this brings another spice to the game, like Burning Crusade brought to Vanilla WoW. And yeah, so that's that. Again, I thank you guys for watching. If there's anything else you guys want to know or other type of videos you want to see, you know, pertaining to WoW or even for some other games, please let me know and I will consider them. But other than that, have a good one, guys. Mike out.